Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cracking Packs. JB here, and today we're going to be cracking open some packs of 2022-23 Upper Deck Hockey Series 2. So as you can see, I got a case here. We're only going to go through one box today, and this is going to be very similar if you watched my previous series on the case I opened of 2022-23 Series 1. So what are going to be the big differences between Series 1 and Series 2? Usually the most important difference is just the crop of young guns. This year, I think looking at the lists, and it's always really hard to predict with rookies because who knows, where their careers go from here. I would say the Series 1 crop seemed a little stronger than the Series 1 crop to me. Or sorry, to the Series 2 crop to me. We do have Slafkovsky in here. We have Shane Wright. We have Jake Sanderson. If you're an Ottawa Senators fan, that's a nice one to pick up. We've got Kuzmenko and a couple other guys who have some potential, but when we compare to that first crop of Matt Boldy, Matty Beniers, Marco Rossi, Jack Quinn, a lot of names in there that it's a little easier to get excited about today. If you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, you also have on top of Slafkovsky, you also have Goulet and Jakai as well. So exciting set for Habs fans, I guess. Aside from the young guns, though, a few other changes. So the regular inserts that we saw in Series 1, if you remember, we saw center of attention, we saw defense mechanism, things like that. Those are going to be different in here. Instead, we're going to have Calder candidates, Welcome To, which is like a little city. There's one for each team, and it's a little picture of the city with a few different players. There's going to be Lunchbox Legends, and there is going to be World Junior Grads. That's an interesting one for me because I looked at the checklist there, and I'd be interested to know, why they chose those players over all the other ones that played in the World Juniors that are still in the league. And then the high-end inserts are going to change as well. So if you remember in Series 1, I opened, actually, if you watched those videos, I opened a Fanimation and a attacking zone acetate. So in this set, instead, there's something called fluorescence, and then there's an acetate called highlighters. So they just switch things up, give you something different to look at, and then it's up to you to decide which one, which one's more appealing to you. So that's about it. On top of that, all the regular things, the regular hobby exclusives are going to be in here. So we're going to have all sorts of clear cuts and exclusives and high gloss and then combinations of all those things. We're going to have all the canvas cards. Yeah, I guess the other one thing to talk about in this set as we open a first box here is so a few years ago, they introduced a young gun when Philadelphia introduced Gritty as their new team mascot. And, that was interesting. I think a lot of people liked Gritty, and it was a super short print as well, so it was a pretty cool card. In this set, they've introduced a young gun for Bowie, the mascot for the Seattle Kraken. And I think that's cool in general, but one difference this time is instead of just making it a super short print, they actually made it one of the 50 young guns that are in this set. So it took the place of a player. And I think that's an interesting decision. But I think it's especially interesting given this crop of young guns, because I see a lot of people online talking about this decision saying, that's not right. They shouldn't have the mascot taking the place of one of the regular 50 young guns you get. But really, in this set, and truthfully, like in any set that I can ever think of, the 50th young gun on the list is probably not someone you're super excited to be opening. So, is it really a big deal that we only have 49 young guns and then we get this mascot? To me, it's probably not. Now, I don't care about getting a copy of Bowie. I mean, I'm not a Seattle Kraken fan, and maybe in Seattle that would be more special to you. If I had a Spartacat young gun, I'd think that'd be pretty cool. But it's an interesting thing, and at the end of the day, I don't think it's as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be that it takes the spot of a player, because that's going to be the 100th young gun that's been released in 22-23, and who's that player going to be anyway? So without further ado, here is our first pack. So the base card is going to be exactly the same as what you would expect from Series 1 because the numbering just continues on, whereas the Young Guns from Series 1 would have left off at 250. This set will pick up at 251 and go right through to 500. So it's meant to be like one continuous set, so these look the same. And then here's our first insert. It's one of the new ones, like I said, Lunchbox Legend Tage Thompson. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the look of the inserts from Series 1 more than I like that, but we'll see what the other ones look like as we go through. So for me, Jake Sanderson, being a Sens fan, Jake Sanderson is the Young Gun I'm the most excited about, but of course, I'll be happy to have copies of the top three guys there. Peyton Krebs, Variant Français. And then I'll just base. So the format's the same as Series 1. You probably read, if you're someone who really follows trading cards, you probably read that next year, starting with 23-24 Series 1, Upper Deck's making some big changes to the configuration of these packs, so it'll be different then. But for now, it's going to be exactly the same as what we saw Series 1 this year. And we got our first Young Gun, and it is Xhekaj. So, there you go, Habs fans. Wi-Fi Xhekaj. As far as the new format for next year goes, it's a tough one for me. I think it's more going to be a wait and see thing. It's really hard to predict how you're going to like something like that until you actually have it in your hands, I think. At the end of the day, we're getting the same number of Young Guns in a box as we were before. I'm probably just getting fewer base cards, which when you buy an entire case of cards, getting fewer base cards is definitely a positive. Here's our first Welcome To. So this is San Jose. That's an alright looking insert. Yeah, I think that's the type of thing that could be really cool if you make it a short print. But as a standard insert, I'm sure it'll just end up being fairly common and just okay to look at. Pack number 5. Oh, can't forget our honor rolls. We're still going to get these, and we're still going to get the portraits. And unfortunately, they are going to look identical to the way they looked in Series 1. Second Young Gun, Declan Chisholm. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of guys in this set that you would normally consider low-end Young Guns for sure. There are some promising ones at the top, but a whole lot that you might not have ever heard of, and you might never hear of again. Another thing that kind of boggles my mind, I saw they added some numbered parallels of some of these inserts, and honor rolls is one of the ones they chose. So you can get numbered honor rolls. That just boggles my mind why you would choose that insert of any particular insert to try and make something special out of. Let's see here. Ooh, here is a canvas black Young Gun Jakub Lauko. That is going to be a nice one. I think in Series 1 we got Mark Kastelic from the Ottawa Senators. Similar black canvas Young Gun. And this is another insert. Instant impressions. I didn't mention this one earlier. I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Like a photograph from a Polaroid or something. That not doing it for me. That insert. So I would say so far, having seen 3 new inserts, my preference this year would have been the lineup in. And here's our ugly portrait. As I'm saying this, I think that I'm liking Series 1 a little more than Series 2 in terms of the look of the inserts. And then I guess in terms of the Young Gun lineup as well. So for me, this year, Series 1 seems like the clear winner. It goes back and forth sometimes. I mean, last year I think most people would say they preferred. Here's our third Young Gun, Philip Kral. Last year, most people I think would prefer the Young Gun crop in Series 2 than Series 1, but I think that's a tough one too because that's a little bit, in my opinion, I think there's a lot of hype around that. I think if you go back and look at the Young Guns in Series 1 last year, there's some pretty good names in there too. I think both of those lineups are looking better than this year's Series 2. And there's our second honor roll. And our second lunchbox legend is Patrik Laine. Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea, I think, of this insert, but I don't know. I think maybe it's that brown border that's making it lose some appeal for me. I just think though in Series 1, like the center of attention, the defense mechanism, etc. I just think they all look really sharp. And these ones just look a little dull to me by comparison. Yeah, here's our first regular canvas. Leon Draisaitl. This is all the base. And Dazzlers as well, of course. So these continue as always, and it's the same kind of Dazzler style as Series 1. So we should get 1 blue Dazzler in every box here. And then I think within the case we'll probably get 2 pinks or something like that. And here's our first World Juniors grad, Jack Eichel. So that's not a bad looking card. I think I'm not in love with the little globe down here, but I like the border up top and the font for his name there. So Calder Candidates, I think, is the one remaining that we haven't seen for the base inserts anyway. Here's another Young Gun, Oli Lixell. This so far, I mean, that's a pretty tough crop of Young Guns from a box, I think. And I mean, Xhekaj is going to be worth some, but not being a Habs fan, I think his value probably is a little overpriced in my opinion. And everyone else here not going to be worth anything. So with only 2 Young Guns to go, and the tough part about this series is I think as we get our second canvas here, Andrei Svechnikov. I think most boxes are going to end up being kind of close to this, so you can still hold out for the super rare cards. If you get a high gloss of Slavkovsky or Shane Wright or something like that, you're going to be pretty happy. And if you're just trying to collect the set, then obviously you just want to get one of each anyway. So there's a canvas of Lafreniere, so it doesn't really matter who they are. That's fine. But if you're someone who's trying to chase higher end stuff, maybe not as easy in this set as some other flagship Upper Deck series from years past. One more, Nikita Okhotyuk. So we should have one more Young Gun coming up, and probably just a bunch of trash other than that. Oh, here's another one of these World Junior grads, Cale Makar. We might have another Welcome to in here, actually. We need to see another city. Ooh, we got our pink Dazzler. Pavel Regenda. So, there you go. A lot of people do like the Dazzlers, so there's always some value in those. Last 3 packs. Here's our second portrait. I think maybe the portraits are all rookies in this set, but portraits are so ugly that it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You can give me an autographed Wayne Gretzky portrait that looks like this, and I would not care at all. And here's our last Young Gun, barring a Jean-Luc, but I don't think we can get that because we got the base French variant there. Cole Koepke. All right, well, like I said 2 Young Guns ago, this probably wasn't going to end up being a very exciting patch. And I will stand by that. But that's probably what we have to expect here in Series 2. This year anyway. Last pack, maybe a Welcome to. I guess that's going to be my prediction based on what we already have out here. Austin Watson. Nope, we got our 4th canvas, of course. I should have counted that. Jaden Schwartz. Alright, well, I'm still happy to get the canvas. Still want to, finish off a set of those for this year. Pretty happy with the black and white Young Gun canvas as well. Okay, pulling Jakai, and don't really care about any of the others. And I hate to say it, I like, there's been a lot of sets come out recently, and I have generally been impressed with them and had nice things to say. This is flagship. It's not a lot different than any other flagship, so it's not like I'm saying this is the worst set you could possibly buy, but just looking at these inserts, not as exciting for me as Series 1 was. Maybe it's just that Series 1 of this year was a lot better than usual in terms of the quality of the inserts, because if I think back to last year, pulling a lot of those, OPG parallels and various things that weren't too exciting that year too, so maybe I just got my hopes up because Series 1 was so good, and at the end of the day, looking back, maybe this won't be so bad compared to past years. But we do still have to live with this Young Gun crop, which is not too exciting. but maybe it'll get better. I have 11 more boxes to go. If you liked what you saw here, if you want to see the rest of these, please like the channel, please subscribe, and you'll be notified as I open each one of these and post it up here as well. Alright, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm JB.